point, and you just can't tell where it's coming from. If it's from the technical team, if it's from the IMC, if it's from the playing body, if maybe we can also allude, these tough times to the fans not being supportive. Mutala, the whole team is in a mess. The whole team is in disarray. You just don't know where the direction is. You don't know what is up next for Asante Kotoko and what they have to do now. It just doesn't look good for them. Today, at their own backyard, and you just have to settle for a loss against Nations FC in their first ever Premier League game at the Barbara Sports Stadium against Kotoko. It's a historic win for Nations FC. Mutala, they will take this win and take it with so much pride because they feel like, see, this is the best way they can begin this rivalry. You take the 2-2 that happened in the reverse fixture side. They just gave a good account of themselves. And just look at that form. With the exception of that Legon City's defeat, they've won their last 3 games on a bounce. Whilst, on the other hand, Kotoko have lost their last 4 straight games. And just look at those wins. Against Bekum Chelsea, against Dreams FC, and then this huge win against Kotoko away from home. The Barbara Sports Stadium is losing its fear factor. It's no more that fortress again. It's no more that sanctuary for Master Asante Kotoko. The place where the magic happens, the place that, they always have the fans cheering behind them. It's not that place anymore. Something is changing about Kotoko. And the earlier the team realizes that they have to do something about it, the better for them. Today, we just have to give credit where credit is due. And Nations FC, they just deserve the flower. They've done a yeoman's job. They played so well. They punched above their weight. They did what they have to do. And they never stopped running in 90 minutes. And you could see, even in the second half, when the tempo of the game changed, when Kotoko decided to take the game to them, I think they adjusted very well, tactically. And they started using the long balls behind the Kotoko defense. And that was how come they even nearly won a penalty. And for me, I just can't believe how that ball wasn't given as a penalty to Nations FC, because that would have even doubled their lead and they would have left with 2 goals. But then, see, 1 goal is enough. I'm just pleased with what I saw today. But for Kotoko, something needs to change. The coach is serving a ban, so he wasn't even on the touchline. And then this happened. Then you find Oklu, trying to calm the players down, telling them, say, it's not over yet. But then they look dejected. And during the halftime pep talk, I told you that it doesn't look good for them. It looks like they are drained psychologically or mentally. The players are being drained, and something looks missing from this Kotoko team. The earlier they find a solution, the better for them.
One thing about defeats is that it can become cancerous. Before you know, it spreads throughout the team, and the players are not able to pick themselves up. It seems that is what is affecting the Kotoko players now. One defeat after the other, it is becoming a psychological battle. They go into every game with that fear, and you can see clearly they were playing with some form of caution. They thought that they had equalized in the second half, only for it to be adjudged as an offside. I think this, yes, it was that touch to Peter Aqua Amidu. Referee adjudged it as an offside. Now, clearly, it seemed that Aqua Amidu was a shade offside here.
It was a big guy offside. Obviously, it was offside. I don't know what was going on the bench, whether the man from the, either the technical bench or somewhere was trying to fight the linesman. I think that is no good for our game. And to be honest, look at where Peter Aminu Aqua is, and look at where, main science, Nicholas main science. Obviously, you can see there is a big gap between the last Nations FC, the defender, and the 14th setted player, and Peter Aminu Aqua is clearly offside on that score. So I don't think the reason why they were looking for that particular goal is an offside position for Kotoko.
It was an offside. Yeah. Clearly you can see that.
But then look at the shape of Nations FC. It's always been.
I think that was Bernard Sumwan.
Yeah, Bernard Sumwan. You look at their shape. In the second half, it looked like Kotoko came with a different mentality in the second half. They tried to throw caution to the wind. They attacked with more men. But then I told you earlier that what they lacked up front today was not just the cutting edge that was missing, but then also they lacked the maturity up front. And you could see that irrespective of the numerous changes that was effected by the coach, nothing changed for Kotoko, because whenever they attacked, they didn't look threatening. And you could see how smart the Nations FC defenders, were on the day, led by Razak Simpson.
I don't think there's a big difference between the quality of players in the Nations FC team and Asante Kotoko. Or there are 2 teams this year. There's no big difference between Nations FC and Asante
Player, even
Kotoko.
Kotoko have better players.
I don't think so.
You can argue that Kotoko have better players.
I don't think so, because when you look at the Nations FC players and when you look at the Kotoko starting lineup today, almost the same.
In terms of quality?
The absence of Steve Mukwala, big blow for Kotoko. The absence of Kalu Watara, big blow for Kotoko. And Lamte is not playing well since he moved back from the Nations Cup. And it's really affecting Asante Kotoko. I agree with Joya, they are missing the service of Sharif Mohammed in the midfield. That was absent affects Asante Kotoko club. No? And it's a big blow. That big defensive player, I've not seen them playing as two central defenders for a game before. Justice Blay, Nuruddin. I've seen them playing as a back three. But as a central defenders 4 and 5, I've not seen them before. And these are some few areas Kotoko need to work.
I'm sure
the quality of players in Kotoko and there's no big
I'm sure one of the headaches that will be for Prosper Natiogum will be the fact that Kofi Mensah was not really worked in that Nations FC goal. You expected Kotoko to bombard him with a lot of shots and try to work him, try to find something. But it seems he had a pretty quiet game, apart from a few saves that he made from that long range shot from Intim Meno. He didn't really have much to do in the post of Nations FC.
No, I think we wouldn't have the benefit of modern day technology in football. But then if we were to calculate Kotoko's expected goals based on the shots they took or the shots on target, Mutala, I don't think the chances they created were quality enough to even warrant them one expected goal, one goal per the shots they took. And you know, Ewa and Simpson, who were playing as the centre backs for Nations FC, they did a very, very good job. And you just know that even from the first half, the goalkeeper was just having a field day because nothing was being thrown at him. They were not threatening when they attacked, and you couldn't tell if they were trying to, move narrowly or trying to, just spread the pitch or widen it as they could, to make the fullbacks of Nations FC even work harder and run more. That wasn't what Kotoko, did in the entirety of the game. They had speedsters on the day, so I just can't tell what the instructions were. If it was for them to try and create 1v1 situations against the Nations FC fullbacks, or just try and use the passing lanes or the channels. Because if Mukwala had played today, we take nothing away from the Nations team. Maybe that telepathy, that chemistry between himself and Baba Yaya and Isaac Opong would have, materialized, would have brought something out. But today you could see how comfortable Nations FC felt. Even when Kotoko turned on the heat, and within a 15-minute spell in the second half, they started, throwing more men forward. They still found a way to contain Kotoko. So I believe, if this game had travelled or had been played for another 90 minutes, Mutala, I don't see how Kotoko were going to win this game. And that's what I'm saying. It's not about the quality.
They were a bit light up front. With no disrespect to Peter Akwa and the likes of Sumwa, but you could see they were light up front.
Today they lagged a lot. And I'm going to say this, that Mutala, Kotoko has never lacked quality. They've always had quality. But what is quality without the right mentality? And that's where the line is being drawn. The quality is there. We've seen those kids. Isaac Opong, he's a spectacular player. Baba Yaya, one of the best dribblers we have in the local scene. Peter Amiduakwa, a prodigy. Bernard Soma has also shown glimpses of what he can do. But then when you have these players, you need to groom them, and they need to play with the top guys. You need someone to mentor these players. And today, in the absence of Stephen Mukwala, who is the top scorer for Kotoko, you could see how they were struggling. But then I believe they need to start working on the psyche of these players. Now, even if Hearts of Oak are playing and they lose, the fans sit back and they believe they lost due to hard luck or individual errors. Because the mentality of the players has shifted all of a sudden. And it looks like no matter who they play against, if you score or you take the lead, they will still find a way to draw level. And that's where Kotoko, they've moved from. I believe that was where they used to be in the first round, and now they are no more there. That even when they should relinquish the lead in a game or go behind in the lead, they find it difficult to recover. And you can see their last 5 home games dating back to the first round. The last home game they played in the first round was that game against RTU, where they won by 1-0. So in 3 games in the second round, or 3 home games in the second round, they've been able to just pick up 3 points from a possible 9.
And it's against Accra Lions and
Nations FC. Accra Lions and these teams don't have more than 3 years experience combined in the league. So it should tell you that there's something missing. The fear factor is gone, and it just doesn't look good, because if the remaining teams who would have to travel to the Barbara Sports Stadium to play against Kotoko in away games should know that the one's hunting ground, the one very, very intimidating stadium for Kotoko is no more there, and it's just a playing ground. They'll go there and they'll start picking points, and that'll be even more dangerous for Asante Kotoko, because if they are to play more, or most of these teams will be coming to the Barbara Sports Stadium. So if you have Accra Lions and Nations FC coming there to pick up maximum points, then you can talk about the lives of Hearts of Oak. You talk about the lives of Samatex if they have to travel there. You talk about the lives of Mediama if they have to travel there. It just doesn't look good for them.
Just doesn't look good for Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Now, I'm sure by now they've already started asking questions and asking themselves how they are going to dig themselves together out of this dish that they are in. It doesn't look good for Asante Kotoko at all. I mean, this is a team that was high in the Ghana Premier League title. As of now, Nanedu, would you still say Kotoko are contenders for the Ghana Premier League?
No, I don't think so. When you look at this kind of performance, even though the point between Asante Kotoko anyone but that top of the Premier League, still anything can happen in the second round. But I doubt the current Samatex team and the Nations FC team will be drop it in terms of performance. So I doubt Asante Kotoko can come back and win a Premier League. I think the league is out of sight for both Hearts of Oak and Asante Kotoko, especially the Kotoko team. Almost struggle, and this is the time they need to make a change within the technical team. To be honest, I think they need to change something within the team. Obesha in the first round, I think what sparked the performance of Asante Kotoko is that politician tag to some of the players. Those players need to be delivered. So I think something needs to be done within the team. Now, some revive your mobile, normal pick up the performance now about Kotoko. But for now, I don't think they are among the contenders to win the Ghana Premier League.
So Kumasi Asante Kotoko slamming to yet another defeat, and it doesn't look good for them. I'm sure by now, Coach Prosper Nati Ogum will be scratching his head, thinking that how do I get out of this mess that we find ourselves in? 5 defeats in 6 games means that Kotoko's dream of maintaining or retaining, of winning the Ghana Premier League may be over. This would be a bitter pill for the Porcupine Warriors. I don't know how they're going to get themselves out, but for Nations FC Kasimingo, we should give them their flowers, in as much as we would say Kotoko were poor on the day. Nations FC made it so.
Yeah,
they had a clear plan and it worked.
But they had to play at a certain level.
Yeah,
to make Kotoko look bad. You can't just stand up at the Barbara Sports Stadium and expect to play anyhow, and Kotoko would look bad. I think that the odds of that happening is almost non-existent. But then you could see how they played, and it's right there on the screen. 2-2 against Kotoko in some very daring circumstances when they played at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex, and then going to their own backyard, their rivals. And now it looks like this will be the new rivalry, the Ashanti regional rivalry, that people will be anticipating. And it looks like that chapter of Kotoko and King Faisal, it's been closed. Now it's Nations FC, and this is the way to begin it. Because now Kotoko fans can't wait for next season to come just because they want to play Nations FC again. Even if it's a friendly game, they'll treat that game with all seriousness, because they know that it goes beyond just a rivalry. There's pride at stake. Now, after this win, Nations FC managed to move within 2 points of Samatex, who won yesterday against Accra Hearts of Oak. This is what it does to the title race, Mutala. It makes it even more enticing. It makes it, even more anticipating. People want to see what is going to happen, because next game week, Nations FC will be playing at home, and Samatex will have to travel away from home. So it means that back-to-back wins for Nations FC after today, and Samatex eventually, dropping points in their next game away from home, could mean that Nations FC would be able to occupy top spot, which is very, very crucial for them, because after 13 games, Nations FC were languishing somewhere in the bottom 5 or bottom 6, and people started asking questions if they were not ready to play in the Ghana Premier League. Now, fast forward a couple of good results from this team, led by a very, very experienced man who has done a marvelous job with Bechem United a couple of seasons ago. And it looks like already they can start to believe and dream that they can win the league. And just look at where they are, 40 points. 2 points behind Samatex, the league leaders. Utala, this could be the league, the title race we've been hoping for. We saw it last season, but then it didn't go all the way down to what? To the wire. And especially if Samatex and Nations have a game to play, that even makes it more crucial. But then 2 points, and it looks like they've just moved above Aduana Stars, who used to be in contention and no more in contention. Now the top 2 teams, Samatex and Nations FC. We have a game on our hands. We have a season on our hands.
Now they do Nations FC. I mean, doing the business. Many people gave them little chance going to the Barbara Sports Stadium after that 2-2 draw in the first leg, but they've gone there, done the business. And prior to the game, you talked about Kasim Mingo being one of the most experienced tacticians and what he can bring to the table when he's coming up against these big sides. He has done it today, and I'm sure the Nations supporters are over the moon.
They are the favorites for me to win the Premier League. They can do what Aduana Stars did years back. One, they have a good team. They have their own stadium that they are playing their home games. They have the resource to play the games from now to the end of the season. And 3, they have experienced management members behind them. And the last point is they have a very good manager who has been consistent among the top 3 in the last 3 seasons of our Ghana Premier League. So they have everything that it takes to win the Ghana Premier League. I'll not be surprised they can win it. As it stands now, for the team that I'm seeing up there, after winning against Asante Kotoko today, Nations are my favorite to win the Ghana Premier League.
Nations are your favorite to win the Ghana Premier League. So that is what Nanedu is saying. I would have a listen to the coaches before we check out of the studio. So they are ready to talk to us, and we'll be hearing from them what they have. Kasim Mengo is a happy man because he has won the game. Oklu is a sad man. Let's have a listen to David Oklu, the assistant coach of Asante Kotoko. So Razak Simpson there talking about the fact that they had a conversation among themselves that they need to die a little harder and that is what has resulted in them getting that victory over Asante Kotoko. Oklu says that fans now fans in the power or say supporters now they are in a very, very difficult moment, and they will do everything to ensure that they get out of this situation. But fans for Kasim Mengo, I mean, he came with a game plan. It worked for him. 3 points. Back to Abraham Kese.
But Mutala, despite everything, Kotoko played well today. Today's game, the Aduana game, they played well. Goals na number. But I think they have to work hard on their goal scoring rate and improve the team. That is why some big decisions have to happen within the club. It's not because whether this coach is good or wrong or bad, but decision making, quick change can fix something within the club. And that is one thing I'm expecting from the IMC and Menshia this particular week so that they help the club moving forward.
Josiah, you heard from the 2 coaches and also the most valuable player. They know what it means to get a win over Asante Kotoko. And yet just at 3 points kick hole. There's a lot that comes with beating Kotoko, especially at the Barbara Stadium.
It's historic for them.
Yeah.
It's a good win for them. And this could serve as a springboard for them and elevate them to, even bigger wins in future. Now, that's just match week 23. There are still 11 games, or there's still 11 games to be played in the league. And you listen to Razak Simpson, the captain or the man of the match in this game. He spoke about the fact that the timing of the goal was really crucial for them, because when you score at that time, there's no way your opponent could equalize. So once you come back after recess, all you have to do is to what? Just keep your shape and try and manage the game. And you could see his coordination and his leadership qualities from the back, and that was what he did. And he played a very, very pivotal role in Nations FC winning this particular game. But then, Mutla, I'm very, very happy for Kasim Mengo. That's a man that had consistent top 4 finishes with Bichim. But then at Nations FC, after what they've done after just 23 games, it looks like the man himself is starting to believe that that's the team that he can lead to a Premier League title. Maybe there was something that he didn't have at Bichim United. Maybe at Nations FC, that thing is there. And that could also serve as a leverage for him to guide these young players to victory. Now they believe. And listen to Assassin. He started talking about how
So should we start considering them as serious title contenders?
No. If after 23 you've played almost 2/3 of the season, you can't just write off someone when the person is within 2 points of the first. They are title contenders. And even if both teams should lose their next game and Aduana should win, Aduana wouldn't still move into the top 2. So you would say, yes, they are legit title contenders. This is a team that drew against Hearts of Oak.
Let me ask you this. how does this situation play out? Should they now sit and have a conversation that yes, let's go for the title, or it should be business as usual, which could take the pressure of them, or they are more fine, or they should sit and really have a proper conversation?
There's a point where you see the top managers. There's a point you can see that this is a manager who has experience and knows how to win it. Kasimengo has never won it before.
I am asking you that question because I'm sure prior to the start of the season, conversation on having within Nations FC, winning the Premier League was not part of that conversation.
Mediaman never believed. They were not in the scene. They were never in the spotlight. Until match week 31, when they had to leapfrog Indiana Stars, after Indiana Stars failed to win a game. And that was the point they started believing. So they started believing at the latter end of the season, with just 4 games to go. And it was so easy for them because now they had to maintain that momentum and win their games. But for Nations FC, it's early days. Yes, they are 11 more games to go. But at this point, there's nothing like it's normal business. Even when you ask the players to calm down, you know that any slip up will mean that Samatex will take advantage of that. So it's not about, yes, you want to manage the expectations. Let's not think we can overdo it.
Okay, so our phone lines have now been activated. 0558462088. That is the line that you can call and share your thoughts on match day 23, the games that have been played so far. Hartlepool losing yesterday, Asante Kotoko also losing today. The likes of Great Olympics getting good results. Now let's go on to the lines and speak to Razak. Razak is on the line. Razak, match day 23, Kotoko losing, Hearts losing, and the likes of Great Olympics also winning. What do you make of that? Hello,
hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What is your take on match day 23, the games that have been played so far?
Okay, my thought on the game is I'm a House of Folk fan. And yesterday, Attack committed such a blunder for House of Folk to lose, which was very, very bad for me yesterday. And Kotoko losing this evening. Kotoko people have to know that they don't have a coach, because this coach who is coaching them today has been with House of Folk, which he did a bad job for us. Now moving to Kotoko is not going to help them. Kotoko has to find a new manager to manage them very well.
Okay, thanks very much, Razak, there for sharing your thoughts with us. You can also call and share your thoughts and opinions on all the games that have been played so far. Great Olympics are the heavy victors of match day 23. Fadi Fatah, Alaji Fadi Fatah, group director IMAX, was sending me a message, baby. Or tell me say they won, and I said and Amwa scored the brace and all that. Mati Alaji, you guys won. Good win for you. And I would say cheers to you. 0558462088. Also, Fred, let's show our Jane. Asante Kotoko are in some serious trouble and would need to find solutions to what is happening to them at the moment. So let's go to Kofi Kroma and speak to Isaac. Isaac, my 23 Aberia, who is saying?
Oh, good evening.
Yeah, I get you.
Papa.
Adetia.
Enra elusu efense Samatex no de Kotoko for ye pa. Masa almost ye papa. Na me catch say team we Kotoko team we. Ansa na be league na wie no Kotoko ba kokoda 11 and I take. Upa mum format baby. And I has of league na e dia. Samatex any friends the omo boss say no. Mo nyina has of be league. As of this year, league near you see a better league. Forget about some of the league in a better.
Martin,
I'm saying, and I never say, Munipani say, Kotoko boy. They don't have team coaches, so many coach.
Okay, that's Ike. Ike say Bob and Kotoko boy, Kotoko bank. You would have reflected in on the scoreline, in the scoreline. Sorry. So what someone said there means they didn't play anything.
They had good spells. Okay, they
had moments.
Yeah, they had moments within the game,
but it wasn't consistent.
Yeah, it wasn't consistent, and that's why I said Nations found a way to just curb all those attacks. You know, whenever they made an incursion, Nations had a way to read the game, and they dealt so comfortably. It looked like, you see, it wasn't even a hassle for them whenever they had to defend.
Do you think there's pressure on Kotoko whenever they are playing at the Barbera now?
You can't tell me there's no pressure on Kotoko whenever they are playing at home. even away from home, there's pressure. How much more in front of their own fans?
So these are the next 5 matches that Nations FC will be playing. Their next game is at home. So a very short trip to Abrankesi to take on Great Olympics before they come up against Royal Tamale United away from home. Then they take on Bofo Kwatana at home, Heart of Lions away, and BBN Gold Stars at home. And 3 home games.
These games, they can get at least 13 or even all the 15 points.
Sir.
Yeah.
Okay. So young come back to Accra near Albert and Casa. Albert match day 23. Kotoko losing. Great Olympics and the likes winning. Who is saying?
Okay, what ni be that Kotoko performance here. O mo ti be say ni dey hard pa Kotoko about 4 matches ah. Lusano mo to na make am.
Okay, it's you.
Me say Kotoko match na make am what me say bi na. Mo see o mo ti go ne dey hard to mo so. Kotoko pa o mo Lusano and hard.
Marty. All right. So now let's go back to the matches that Nations FC will be playing. You are saying they will get as much as 13 or can even get 15.
They are winning the Olympics game. They will win against RTU. They will win against Bofo. The worst result for them against House of Lions will be a draw, and they will win against BBN Gold Stars.
Josiah, what do you think about these games?
Mutala, if you are coming at the back of a win against Kotoko away from home, then you are looking at these teams and you be thinking, if I'm beating Kotoko away from home, why can't I win against RTU away and Heart of Lions away? Because Great Olympics at home, turn over Aqua and BBN Gold Stars.
Josiah, I would come back to you, but Ernesto is also on the line from Takwa. Ernesto, match day 23. Games no do na ba we ekosema.
Okay, Pacho Munina obi anwe.
Nyame na dom.
But you this particular man, one, I like you. I like you, and you go for small time and you be on BBC. Trust me.
Amen.
You're the way Okasa crowd for the challenge. I get orgasm, and your 2 panelists and big ups to them. But me has book fan. One. Me person listen to small message be my opinion for.
Okay.
House of folk now we are divided because of 1 or 2 things. House of folk was going through 1 or 2 trauma, and all these qualms was because of 1 or 2 people. His Royal Highness, big ups to you, my mama. What good board, you know? One so be back together, and big ups to Watala. Respect what my fans and FFQA. Or Kasa Krampa, or Kuma to Yem, your Kasano, Watala, or supporters, because he believes that the supporters are one of the biggest stakeholders in every football club. Now, Yamia don't. Now say support a board you qua. Me pacho mon country Salaja can be said he was former destined supporters. We still accept him as a supporter. Yes, sir. Him pe confusion. Him pe kasa dia. To be what good board le dia. Ya pacho me man train bed. Me mo bibi or social media circulating. During our pre-match conference meeting, and Alaja Kambi was in charge. What is he doing as an official member of ASUFO once the board has been dissolved? Right now, we are all united. We don't want any division again.
Okay. Yeah, see, you catch it to back for day. Alright. To be better. It has a power. Say, they still welcome Alaji Akabia as a supporter. So, you know, a supporters chief. It's your mess up that was a supporters chief. But Heart of Folk also losing yesterday. But as our fans nation and Ouattara, nobody is really talking about Ouattara and the defeats. But well, it's because of the YA or by YA. So you can also call 055-846-2088 there. So those are the next 5 games. Nations FC. But we would have to see Kumasi Asante Kotoko's next 5 games because they are very crucial for the fans. But Yebeko Ebuakwa and Isaac and Ike for be brave. Ike Ebuakwa match 23. I'll be real saying. Hello, Ike.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, match 23 no one is saying games now a Barcelona.
Bono de Kotoko Maya de. Yeah, boys na Basu.
Okay.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, me too, Ike. Okay, there seem to be I got to make
I'm so bobo pa my idea.
Okay.
But House of Focus there, agenda referee. Agenda referee na fell ya bless. The your house be could be a look di match. Yeah, me tonka.
I mean, say Ike is having issues there. Yeah, that's it. Ike, he's having issues there. I want to understand this. See, agenda referee, but Hearts of Oak lost the game.
They lost.
So why would they take?
You know, I've noticed something. It looks like we've had more Hearts of Oak callers than Kotoko callers. That's why the fact that Kotoko played
today.
Just today. It looks like we've seen more Hearts of Oak callers. Like fans call it more than call, and it's shocking. I don't know if it's
it happens these days. When Hearts of Oak lose a game, you have a lot of supporters calling.
League of their own.
League of their own.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sure nothing to separate them because both of them lost. So in Tiobienya, win. Well, so yeah, come was a group now. Yeah, Baba Seidu Akasa. Baba Seidu match day 23. Kotoko Lusuye has Lucia Olympics. Munina Rini who is saying.
Hello.
Yeah, Baba. Match day 23. Who is saying?
I have to focus on Papa. And the Lucy is a children. I will go to another yard. And you tell me, sir, you're back to the more. Hello.
Mitio Baba, Mitio Pa.
I want to have the problem I have to be answered. You're best. Name of 2 people. I can't tell you. You won't be able to know. If you are seeing it. I don't know. You can go now.
Okay. Well. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's it. Baba is talking about the heartful goalkeeping situation, talking about Atta, and of course, IE as well. So let's look at the next 5 games that Asante Kotoko will also be playing. They have to travel to the Nana Fosuji Park to take on Bichim United, and then they come home and play in Swatama. Dreams FC away from home, Samatex at home, and Mediema away from home as well. So quick one on this: how many points are they getting, Josiah?
Maybe probably they could win their 2 home games and add a point away from home.
Okay.
Maybe 7 out of 15.
Okay. So that is for Asante Kotoko. If we can get the result that came through, all the result that came through today in match day 23, interesting results and the likes of Great Olympics all winning. So it has been a good day there. So Saturday is when we started with Samatex beating us by 2-1, and this afternoon Mediema drawing goalless with Dreams FC. Bichim United. Brekum Chelsea and Bichim United drew 1-1 with Bofokwa, also beating Karela by 2-1. Great Olympics, I've told you they are the heavy victors of the day. Alaji Fatah is on cloud 9 as they beat Diana by 4-2. Legon City is also beating Swataman by 1-0, and Nations FC going all the way to Barbaira to get all 3 points against Kotoko. Tomorrow we'll see RTU take on Accra Lions and Hearts of Lions also taking on Baby Any Gold Stars. Let's take a glance at the table before we check out of the studios, because there's been some movement on the Ghana Premier League table. Samatex, they are leading the pack with 42 points. Nations FC, after today's win over Asante Kotoko, are just 2 points behind the league leaders. They have 40 points. Adriana are third with 36 points. Brekum Chelsea, Omotoso fourth with 34 points. Bichim United, Abetoso fifth with 33 points. Mediema, today's saw them draw goalless, and currently they sit on the table with 33 points. Swatman also have 33 points and are 7. Hearts of Oak, after yesterday's defeat, have dropped to 8th with 32 points. Omonuanum Asante Kotoko Atani Ata Omuboso Kotoko are also 9th with 32 points. That is the top half of the table. Let's look at the other half of the table, where Great Olympics, after their win today, have climbed to 10th with 31 points. Legon Cities at also 11th with 31 points. Accra Lions are 12th with 30 points. Baby Any Gold Stars are also 13th with 28 points. Dreams FC are 14th with 28 points. And Karela, like precariously above the relegation zone. Currently, they are 15th with 27 points. The last 3 teams on the Ghana Premier League table are But for Akwatano, who are 16th with 26 points, Heart of Lions are 17th with 21 points, and Real Tamale United, they play tomorrow, but they are 18th with 19 points. And this is where we call it a wrap with our coverage of the Ghana Premier League today. It has been an exciting one. We started from the Akun Park where Mediama drew goalless with Dreams FC, and Kumasi Asante Kotoko slamming to another defeat. Now the question is, how does Kotoko dig themselves out of this mess? Maybe in the coming days we will see what happens with them. My name is Mutala Yakubu. Thanks to my two colleagues, Josiah Okokwe and of course Nanedu, and to you at home for always choosing Star Times. Till we meet again, it's au revoir. Bye bye.